Hey, welcome back to Bible and Blues, and this is the Emerald City review we've been waiting for. This is the season finale, and wow, there's a lot that's going on here, so we're going to kind of dive right in here. Who do you want to start off with? Let's start off with, the opening scene was dealing with the skin man, the skinless man who was on the tree, and, getting him going and getting him alive again and moving. So what... Look how crazy was that? So he survives, and his skin is hanging from the tree. His skin was on the tree. Okay, is that crazy? And so, I think it's going to be my phrase for the night is that crazy or what? Anyway, yeah, I got my coffee going, and I need coffee only because I have to edit this thing afterwards, and there's a time constraint there. And it's already 11 o'clock at night for me. So anyway. So the Skin Man he starts cutting this up and starts putting the skin on like an outfit. Oh, okay. So that's what he does with it, right? The skinless man. I call him the Skin Man. It immediately cuts over to the wizard. We're going to spend a little time with the wizard here because, the wizard has, you remember the flying monkeys in the old movie. Of course, they have these projectors, these flying monkeys that are, finding that are essentially they're surveying. Okay, they've got cameras on them. I'm assuming the wizard made them or something, or had them commissioned. Okay, so one of them comes back and it shows it, and they're reviewing the film in it, and they see the witches. So the wizard's like, okay, we're going to war. This is what I've been waiting for, kind of thing. And what the heck did I just do? So they're heading off to war. So they're marching. They're getting ready to do battle. And this is not going to be a good thing. This is going to be an ugly war if you think about it. You have science, the wizard. I hate this guy, really. I really do. This guy is he is not a likable person at all. I mean, I'm all for an anti-hero, but this guy's not an anti-hero. He's just he's a piece of work. So, a very small man. So he heads off to the field to do battle. Mind you, which means he's away from he's away from Oz. Well, this gives an opportunity. This is where the witches are actually headed, is for Oz. So, and these are the ones that Wes pulled out from the mud around that tree with Ozma, and what the heck was it? That was really weird. It was So the monkeys are under. I mean, they must be part magical. Well, there's not much to make them fly except for magic and there's appearances of something that could fly, but the physics just isn't there. So they must be magical, right? So the monkeys fly. A whole bunch of them take off, go up in the air, and they spell out Ozma in the sky. And who, Tip, Ozma. We're going to refer to her as Ozma from now on, because it seems like she's not so much that she's settled as this is kind of what her role is now. She is Ozma. And so they come in, they pretty much just, they blow the gates down through magic and storm into the city, and there's a couple of guards, and there's a guard standing there, and they pretty much have them at their will. And West, she's still mad. She's mad over the past 20 years, and so she's saying, telling Ozma, you need to just kill this guy. Okay, he's a guard of the wizard's guard, and just get rid of him. Just kill him. Be done with it, right? And Ozma's she's not vicious. Okay. She has visions and she's seen her parents die. But ultimately she's still like what, 14, 15-year-old girl, and so she's not. She doesn't have that vicious streak in her. West kind of shows the brutal side of herself, and is pretty much getting ready to kill this guy. But who walks up? Okay, we're gonna stick with Ozma because just kind of it works out well this way. So Armand, was that his name? I can't remember. He was captain of the guard. He comes walking down in his lion mask. He kneels before Ozma. I mean, this is kind of a really tense moment because Ozma has the memory of who killed her parents, right? And she's like, Armand comes down with wearing the lion's mask, kneels before Ozma. I mean, you can see all the guilt in him. She removes the mask, and she was like, I know you killed my parents. Why'd you let me live? And he gives a reason of, I have a daughter, same age, and that's I couldn't kill you because it'd be like killing my daughter, kind of thing. West is she wants her to have him killed right away, and just that's the justice that West sees. So, coffee, love it. So she wants a violent form of justice in this, but Ozma, she's a smart girl. I mean, so what she does is she says, "Bring his family, bring his family out." Immediately he's thinking she's going to kill his family like he killed hers. So he starts begging for his family. Essentially, he's begging for his family's life. That's not her plan. So what she does is she uses magic and she removes their memory of him in their minds, so that they don't know who he is now. And this is her way of taking his family away from him. Okay, you took my family, I just took yours. Now you're hereby banished from the kingdom. You're banished from the kingdom of Oz. You now wander the land with alone, at the beast that you are. So I thought something more was going to happen as far as that. I thought maybe the lions, like he was going to turn into something, but not so much. That didn't happen, at least not yet. And so, they don't remember, his family doesn't remember him anymore. I don't know whether they just have a blank spot as to who the father was, or if, another memory kind of forms and seeds and takes its place. That might happen. I don't know. Or they might just go mad. Who knows? Sometimes these things are never properly resolved. Talk about having daddy issues. So, does this make him the cowardly lion? That's the question. A question that I have. Does this make him the coward? He's got the lion's head and everything, but he wasn't a coward. He wasn't. He went down and he faced justice, and so he faced justice. So that wasn't. There was nothing cowardly about what he was doing there. Now maybe back in the day he said he did it because to save his own skin. It was either her parents or him, I guess. And according to what we know about the wizard, I fully believe that would be exactly how the wizard would play that. Ozma received tips Ozma fully received West's full admiration for that, and West even commented about how I thought when your father died, kind of thing. I'm paraphrasing. Your justice was dead, but now I'm proven wrong. Justice lives with you. So she has West's loyalty and with that move. And so she has a lot to learn because you can't always be nice ish. So that was kind of, that really was the whole thing on Ozma. I thought that went really well for her. It was easy. There was, half the guards gone. There's not much, there wasn't much, battle to take. So there it is. So And let's go to Dorothy's with the wizard, and Dorothy has brought the has brought the the stone man, the giant, and so he's feeling very strong, but he has this whole conversation about he's such a petty guy. I just can't get over it. I mean, even in the movie, I mean, he was a small man, but he wasn't petty. He was just kind of doing the best he could with what he had, kind of thing. So he's telling Dorothy, you were supposed to kill Glinda, and because you didn't, this is your job. This is what you're supposed to do. He's trying to tell her what to do, and this isn't really going over too well with Dorothy. She's not. She's like, I mean, I you wanted the war to stop. That's what I told you I was going to do. I can stop the war. And he's being him. That never helps anything here. Oh, and so he's like, well, why do you want to go back? Why you're supposed why do you want to go back? And she's like, well, I want to go back home. That's where my mother is. And he's like, no, that's not your mother. Your mother is Jane, and which really thoroughly confuses her. So the next thing next thing you know, there's you see clouds of locusts up in the air over the hill, and they're thinking, and she immediately knows it's witches. The witches have come in. We're under attack right now, and my first thought was this was West, but so we see, I mean, and the locusts that come in, I mean, they're just thick. So all of a sudden, Dorothy uses magic to clear out around her, and she's essentially sitting, and the idea is it's the eye of a storm. Okay, is where she's supposed to be sitting, and so she's in this, and all of a sudden, forms right. All the locusts are frozen. There's a few that are just moving a little bit here and there, but otherwise they're pretty much frozen. And from out of that walks Glinda. Okay, and Glinda, I mean, she's still holding a bit of a grudge, over Lucas and everything. So, there's no love lost between Glinda and Dorothy. And then Glinda's shows her, I brought Sylvia, and here's Sylvia, and the thing about Sylvia is Sylvia's got this power, her specialized power, and she starts going shaking, and the she turns the giant, the stone giant, in and crumbles him. Took a lot of power. As this happens, all of a sudden the wizard shoots Sylvia. What a jerk. Okay. This, this is it for Dorothy. All right. And he orders his guards. They all start shooting all the witches that are out there. And, it's just brutal. It's crazy. It's just, all these, and there's just no battle here. I mean, it's just you have guns versus nothing essentially, and Glinda tells Dorothy, "You see what you did? All this death is because of you." And Dorothy's like, "Okay, it's, she's going after the wizard. She's blaming the wizard for all this, which good person to blame." And she's chasing down the wizard. And he, and he's backing off. He's hiding, but she's not really done with him. But all of a sudden, I mean, like all the witches are dead. Okay, they've all been shot, but all of a sudden they all heal and they get back up. And here's the thing: only a witch can kill a witch. Okay, he thought he had the answer with the guns. Okay. The thing he didn't know was that when East was shot, a witch was holding the gun. East was. And so that's why the gun was able to kill her. Okay, essentially, a witch killed a witch. So, so that's what happens. Well, so Dorothy, is like, you know what, you're gonna we're gonna can you get me back? And they so what they do is they have the wizard. He's captive now. Okay, and they all head to the city of Oz, to the Emerald City itself, and Glinda with her girls comes in, and they get into essentially the throne room. Side note: during the battle with Glinda, when things were going badly, the thing that gave the wizard the upper hand to be able to start shooting the girls was when Dorothy used the other giant with a spear over the temple of the witches, and he plunges the spear into the temple and hits that core area of the temple where underneath the visible area. So that's how it shattered Glinda's concentration in the other witches. Just knocked them flat. So, side note on that. So I just want to get that part out. So we're back in Oz. All the witches are there. And Glinda goes into the throne room, and there's West with Ozma. And West is very clear. I mean, this is she has purpose. She's not high. She's not smoking opium. She's not sitting there drinking anything. Okay, she's not doped up or drugged up. She's very clear and focused about what's going on, and she's repurposed. Okay, and reborn, I guess you might say. So, and she really sees Ozma as I mean, this is the queen. This is the queen that we serve, and so she tells Glinda, I mean, come with me, come be a part of this, and Glinda's not really having it. I don't think so. I think there's a lot of tension between them, and they don't finish it off in there. And they might come together, but I don't think they're going to. In the end, I think that's going to be something to see later on. So Dorothy says to the wizard, to Frank, "Can you get me into your castle?" He's like, "Why?" It's like, "Well, I need to go home." Why do you want to go home? There's nothing there, kind of thing. This, so, because he doesn't want to leave. He's a small person. He's a small man. He's a small-minded man, and so he has nothing there. There's nothing there that's for him. So he doesn't want to be there. He has power here. He doesn't want to give up his power here. He still sees as a possibility of getting out of this. So, we do learn that the Skin Man, he is the Beast Forever. He is the current incarnation of the Beast Forever. And he sprouts wings. I don't know how big he gets, because all we see is, the wings shadow over things as he flies overhead. We only see the shadow of him on the ground, and it looks pretty darn big. Anyway, so Dorothy's like, "Get me in the castle. We're going home." And so, Frank gets up there. They get up. They do manage to get up there. Frank doesn't want to go. He's talking. He's starting to talk his talk, and why do you want to go back? I'm not even sure this machine works anymore. I mean, yada yada yada. And then he gets shot in this chamber, and it's Jane. Jane has come to the rescue, and Jane has come to the rescue for her daughter. So that was pretty cool, I thought. Jane gets and I don't know. I don't think the wizard's actually dead. It looks like he's dead. He's sitting there with his eyes open, kind of thing, like he's dead. But not convinced. Next season answer on that one, I think. So it turns out Jane actually built the machine, and Frank took it over. Like he takes everything over. So Jane actually built the machine, so she knows how to use it. And she's like, okay, we're both going back, and so Jane puts gets her into the chamber where the tornado is forming up, and just before all this, she's like, "I'll be right behind you. Just get in there. I'll be right behind you." And then right after Dorothy gets inside of it, slams the door shut and she's like, "I'm sorry. This is the only way you gotta go. You have to go." So Dorothy ends up back in Kansas. She's back in Kansas again. She wakes up by Karen's trailer, where this all began. She wakes up right there. It's like the next day or something. Not even. Runs down to the storm cellar, and there's Karen. She's still alive. She's bleeding pretty badly. She's lost a lot of blood, but she's still alive. And the police are already on their way, and so or an ambulance, and so they she does survive, just so you know. Next scene, we see Dorothy is with her NEM, and she's in the house, and she's like decided she's gonna head out. She's gonna leave. She's gonna go to and she's gonna go see she's gonna go see Karen in the hospital, make sure she's okay. She just can't sit still, right? I mean, she's been on the run for days. I mean, weeks. How long has she been running? So all of a sudden that's sitting still. So NEM is out, but NEM is out on the front porch, and she's cracking walnuts. Excuse me. And so she's sit down. Let's talk for a while. Well, all of a sudden, she as they talk for a little bit, and Dorothy gives a little story about how. She doesn't remember anything. So I don't know what to tell the police because the police want to get a statement from her. I don't know what to tell them. I was there, and then I got knocked out, and I woke up, and here we are. So that's what she's saying. She's saying I don't remember a darn thing. So there's no statement to give. I mean, how else? I mean, are you going to say that you went to another, you went to another land, the land of Oz, and I mean, well, yeah, you'd be in a padded room before you know it. So. She's like, I'm gonna go for a walk. So she goes out, and she gets out to the field area, which is just away from the house. This is a typical small Kansas farmhouse. And she's and she sees a dog, and it's Toto. Toto is out in the field, and come on, Toto. She left Toto in Oz, and she's pets Toto for a second, and then we see Lucas come up behind her. And there's Lucas, and she's very leery. She's scared of him because he did try to just kill her back at Oz. But he says, "No, I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to take you back." And she's like, "Yeah, where's my mom and where's Jane?" And he's like, "Well, she is prisoner of the Beast forever. So, and Dorothy is the only one that can stop the Beast forever." Okay, so that's her job, which we all kind of knew. But hey, there it is. And that's how it ends. It ends right there. She doesn't say she's going. She doesn't say she's not going. She doesn't tell him to kiss off. She doesn't pull a gun and shoot him in the head. Okay, or anything. Come on. So that was it. What did you think of that? How did you think it ended? I thought it was a pretty good cliffhanger. I thought they ended it properly for a season finale to hook us until the next season. And I really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed this season. I've really enjoyed doing this with you, doing the review and watching the show with you every single week. And can you believe it's been 10 weeks? We've been doing this together for 10 weeks. This is pretty cool. And, I have a few that are really watching with me. This is Emerald City is my biggest draw on YouTube. It's not my biggest draw on VidMe, but it is my biggest draw on YouTube. So I am still actively searching a replacement. I've had some suggestions. Some are good. Some I'm paying attention to. I have another thing that another project in the works that I'm working on Should be able to put the first video out next Friday, because I've already actually recorded it, and I'm just going to spend some time editing, getting it all taken care of. So the post-production is going to take a little bit more time, I think, and so it's going to be a really neat project. But then I'd like to fill some of this review time with something else. Anybody know when Dirk Gently's starting back up? If you go far enough back in my channel, I did the first season of Dirk Gently, the same thing. And actually that would be a fun one to do too. I think that will be probably not till the fall. I probably won't start back up till the fall. The Expanse is a possibility. It is mid-season already. Though I do like the show. I've been thinking about rewatching Stranger Things to get it done and review the first season before the second season comes out, and we all binge watch it in a weekend. So there's also a strong possibility on that one. So what do you think? What would you like to see me doing? Do me a favor. If you like what I've been doing here with this, subscribe. Check it out. Check out some of my other stuff. I have a whole bunch of stuff a whole lot of. I've been reading Psalms every single morning. And not everybody's bag of tea, but you know what? Hey, maybe you need to check it out for the heck of it. Maybe it's something you should take a look at. So I'm up to Psalm 30 tomorrow, I believe is Psalm 30. So I got through that. I'm doing that, and there's another 120 after that. So that's going to keep going for a while. I also have a little bit of music. I'm going to be able to focus a little more on my music again, which is really an important thing to me. And I really like to get good with guitar. So that means I'm going to have to practice a whole lot more than I am, aren't I? So that's kind of some of the stuff that's going on. Look forward to talking to you some more. There is a cool project that I'm working on. It has to do with cars and girl power and girls working on cars. I mean, legitimately. Don't get your mind in the gutter. This is my daughter-in-law we're talking about here. So check it out. That'll be starting up next weekend, next Friday night, probably about 6 p.m. Eastern Pacific, so between 6 and 6:30 p.m. Eastern Pacific, or Pacific Standard Time, Pacific Standard Time. You can tell it's getting late, and that will be a really good one. I think that's going to be a lot of fun. I already have one in there. It's going to be several episodes at least. What we're doing with that. Beyond that, you guys have a great night. I look forward to seeing your comments below. Give me your suggestions. I love it. Subscribe to me and get some notifications. Make sure you click on the notifications for when I upload new stuff. And I upload daily, even if it's just the one thing first thing in the morning. But oftentimes it's twice a day. So, hey, you have a great day, and I'm really, really hoping that they do a second season of this show. So, and I know you are too. God bless. Bye-bye.